Super Mario Bros. Is one of the most iconic games ever made, and in the past 15 years, it has become synonymous with speedrunning. Millions of people flock to watch the newest world record, and countless channels have been built off this platforming plummet. Hundreds of players have beaten this game in under 5 minutes, but how many of you have actually tried the most famous speedrun in history? This past month, that was my one goal. I was going to run an experiment and beat Super Mario Bros. Once and only once per day to see how quickly I could improve my time. Before we get started, I have to warn anyone who is actually good at this game that the following 20 minutes will be unbearable to watch. This is not a traditional speedrun of the game, and I definitely didn't start out with any skill. So let's get started. Before starting this month, I did absolutely no planning, and if you know anything about this speedrun, then you already know I started that timer 3 seconds before I was supposed to. Okay, well, as you can see, I thought there might have been a 1 up there. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, there's the right pipe. I was clearly off to a rough start. And if you're questioning why I'm collecting coins in this speedrun, that's because I was terrified of getting a game over and having to restart the whole thing. These first few days, I wasted minutes of my time collecting every coin and hidden 1-up I could find. I don't know many secrets for this game, but I am fairly certain there's a 1-up. Up here? Oh, crap. Okay. Well, I guess I won't know until tomorrow. But oh, that is embarrassing. So, obviously there's going to be a lot of room for improvement with this. Let's just say it was a rough first day, and about 30 seconds later, my worst fears would come true. We're gonna pretend like that never happened. But unfortunately, it did happen. And it happened 5 more times. To be honest, I'm still upset about this one. Or we do this. Okay. That was unfair. So when I first came up with this idea, my wife thought I was a little crazy. How would I have time to beat an entire game every day? I told her it wasn't a big deal. I probably only needed 15 minutes max to play it. Oh, how wrong I was. It took me over an hour and a half just to claw my way through this first time. I had no idea what I was doing, and this first day reminded me that NES games aren't a walk in the park. It was going to be a long month. On to day 2. But this time, I did a little research beforehand. I learned where all of the secret 1-ups are throughout the route. So, hopefully that will be enough to prevent a game over towards the end. It wasn't. I played a lot better today, and knowing where to find every 1-up saved some time searching and having to restart. But I was still pretty bad at the game. I had no clue how to deal with Hammer Bros, and that cost me the run. Luckily, I was learning to be patient, and managed to finish in about 28 minutes total. Already knocked an hour off my time. Now if I could just beat it in one go, I could really start speedrunning. And day 3 could be it. 0 deaths into 4-2, and I got the vine quick enough to save an entire minute compared to the last run. I was flying through this game, and nothing could stop me. Nothing but a pit, that is.
I would have to disagree with that one. I definitely jumped there, but see, the game doesn't want me to win this, so I'm probably going to end up resetting. And there's that reset. Alright.
Unfortunately, the next run didn't go much better. But 3rd time's the charm, and after 40 minutes total, I pulled this off.
There we go. That's it. Right under 8 minutes. Okay. It still took me 3 tries to beat it today, which is way more than I was wanting. But once we got a successful attempt in, under 8 minutes is really good.
I was finally starting to understand this game. I just needed to get consistent with each level. And while day 4 wasn't very smooth, I only had 2 deaths and managed to finish my first run without a game over.
That's a big improvement. So, hopefully there will be no game overs for the rest of the month. We'll just have to see how it goes.
I don't know why I was still so naive. The very next day saw 3 game overs and took about 38 minutes total. The main difference with today is that I was trying to go quickly through the game, but didn't have all the levels memorized. That, combined with moments of god-awful gameplay, led to some frustration. I'm trying to keep this video PG, so I'm not even going to include the audio for this one. Day 6 and 7 were where this week of practice would finally pay off. Feeling solid. Okay, clearly not solid. Despite the rough start, I was starting to create some setups for the harder jumps in the game. Gonna jump right after the second tree. Coming up here in a second. There we go. All right.
I was slowly seeing some improvement, and with only one death in the run, I walked away with a time of 7:47. The next day was even better, going into 8-4 with 0 deaths and my fastest pace yet. But if you're looking at my timer, you'll notice the splits don't agree with me. This was my first time using a speedrun timer, so I had no clue it was just showing my sum of best times instead. If you notice it's messed up in the next couple days, it's because I was having a fierce battle with the settings off camera. Regardless, I came away with my first deathless run, and it showed the potential I had for the next 3 weeks. It would take some practice, but I knew a sub 6 minute time was possible.
I had finally reached the point where I wasn't absolutely trash at Mario. I went the next 2 days without a game over and got an 11:05 and 11:57. Now that I could actually beat the game, it was time to start getting fast. We're on day 10, and I finally decided to look up the rules of the speedrun. So for instance, the timing doesn't start when you click start, it starts when you get control of Mario. So I've been losing a couple seconds every single run. I also learned that there is a way to continue that is legal in speedruns. Had no idea you could actually continue in this game. I just assumed if you died because you were trash, that was it. But what that means essentially is even if I get a game over, it's not the end of the world because I can just continue at least from the start of 8-1. So I won't have to completely restart a run every time I fail. Now just because I learned what you're supposed to do in a speedrun doesn't mean I can magically do it all. The any percent route of Super Mario Bros. Is one of the most optimized runs ever. There's the pipe flip in 1-2, the wrong warp in 4-2, and flagpole glitches that take hundreds if not thousands of attempts to master. I would love to sit here and explain this tech, but with only 20 runs to go, I didn't try any of these. The only glitch I used in my run was the wrong warp in 8-4, because any baby speedrunner could pull that one off. That only leaves one thing left to explain, the frame rule system. So imagine a bus, and every 21 frames, that bus leaves.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more!
Just kidding. You all know the frame rule, and if you don't, then stop touching grass and go watch Summoning Salt. Plus, I was still taking time to kill enemies when I didn't need to, so I wasn't about to start worrying about what frame I'm on anytime soon. I was getting more consistent though, and got a time of 8:55, so I came at day 11 with much more confidence. I think I'm to the point that I can stop getting every one-up that I have been. Like, I'll get the first and the second one-up. I don't think all 3 are necessary at this point, is what I'm trying to get at. I wasn't perfect, but I was getting much faster and learning to make jumps without slowing down. Hammer Bros were definitely still a problem, but at least I wasn't wasting time being afraid of them. There's still a great chance of getting sub 7 here. I really just have to play carefully. As long as I don't die, I'm going to get a sub 7. Alright, just don't F this up and we're good. Oh, okay, that was a little close for comfort. Like I said, don't F this up and we're good, and there we are. The pressure was a bit too high, but I still came away with an 809. It was at this point I was starting to get a little frustrated with the challenge. I was really enjoying the speedrun, but only playing for 10 minutes a day was not nearly enough time to learn any harder strats. I wanted to sit down and just practice 8-4 for hours so I would stop failing at the last second, but I was committed to seeing this month through. The next day only grew this frustration with another death at the very end, giving me a time of 9:01. On day 13, everything fell into place. I went into 4-2 with 3 gold splits behind me, but then I would discover a new nemesis of this run, the warp vine. I had cleared this obstacle with ease the past few times, but from here on out, it was my least consistent part of the run. I wasted 10 seconds making a total fool of myself. Luckily, that was my only major mistake, and having Fire Mario for the end got me a new record in under 7 minutes. I hadn't gotten a game over in 8 days, so if the past week meant anything, it was all uphill from here.
Today is the day that I'm finally prepared to start skipping some of those one-ups. I've just gotten to the point that, you know, it's not really worth it.
No, I was not prepared. The next few days saw countless game overs. I would make it to World 8 fine at a great pace, and then fumble around for 20 minutes completely forgetting how to play the game. But for some reason, I still had optimism for day 16.
I think I'm finally to the point in this game where I can, like, legitimately start speedrunning it. I'd say up until now I was really just beating it and slowly getting faster and faster. Man, the overconfidence really is doing me wonders here.
At this point in the month, overconfidence was my biggest roadblock. I felt like I was ready to try faster strats, but had zero consistency in pulling them off. And then, the rage would kick in. After the first couple deaths, I would start making stupid mistakes that would spiral into a game over. Luckily, this day of misery was over in under 20 minutes. And I think this was the point in the month that I accepted the fact that I am not good at this game. I didn't even start recording on day 17 until the final level, because I was just expecting to get a game over. Instead, I was given a chance.
If I do this part like perfect, I think I can get a record. But if I make a single mistake, I'm done. Like that. Okay, I don't think I can get it now. Legitimately.
And I was right. I wasted about 3 seconds in that room alone, and missed my record by 3 seconds. But more importantly, I also had a death in 8-2 that lost almost 30 seconds. My practice in World 8 was starting to pay off, and a sub 630 definitely seemed possible. But then came day 18, probably my lowest point of the month. For some context, we had recently gotten a 3-month-old puppy, and after getting a game over in 4-1 by dying to the same jump twice, I was a broken man.
So yeah, it's 3 a.m. right now. My wife has been out of town for a week, which means I've had the dog alone. And I've just about lost my mind at this point, if you can't tell, by my great gameplay today. Dude, you gotta give me 2 seconds, seriously. I did it. Hey. That was perfect. I'm just not able to do that consistently. Now I have to go stop my dog from ripping apart a giant monkey. I am losing my mind. This dog is driving me crazy. Doesn't know how to just relax.
The following day wasn't much help for my sanity, with 7 deaths and 2 game overs all in 8-4. I was starting to lose it, but I was definitely getting plenty of practice for my final week.
Jump forward. Okay. Nope. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. That was dumb. Alright, so today is day 20, I believe, and I've made a decision. This week I have played like crap for almost the whole time, and today is going to be the last day of that. So I'm going to play one more day horribly. That's today. And then tomorrow, I'm going to start doing great.
And that's exactly what I did. There weren't any game overs, but I died in some of the dumbest ways possible. It was time to say goodbye to week 3 and settle in for my final 10 days of the challenge.
Alright, like I said yesterday, this is the start of the rise. We're going to be killing it today. And then every other day after this, we're also going to be killing it.
At this point, I was capable of beating most levels without slowing down. Despite this, I was still terrified of the Hammer Bros in 8-3, and I would waste at least 15 seconds every run trying to get a power up here. Even with several mistakes, I was only 13 seconds off a new personal best. Day 22 started off amazing, with my best 4-2 yet, and then I fumbled the ball 2 levels later and lost all that time saved. That combined with 30 seconds of standing around like an idiot resulted in a 7:55. But now it was time to stop messing around and set a new PB.
I'm not sure what it is about this run, but I'm feeling it. Here's the thing. 6:48 is not a hard time to beat. Like, I don't understand why it's taking me so long. Oh, you want to know why it's taking me so long? Because of mistakes like that. Great. waste of time. Come on. This gotta be like perfect. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting it. I think that's it. It was a good attempt. Just barely missed it. And Bowser gave the easiest pattern. That one was the most disappointing yet. And so far it's just been near miss after near miss. But I think I'm getting really close to getting like a sub 630.
And the next day was even better. 20 seconds ahead with less than 3 levels to go. All until one mistake spiraled out of control.
See, crap, dude. Crap. That was like the run. The best run I've ever had by far, down the toilet. Just like that. That hurt. Aw, dude, it's so close. Please.
I went silent for the rest of that recording, and the next days weren't any better. A time of 10:38 and 7:31. There were only 4 days left in the month, and I was almost out of time to get a run anywhere close to my current potential. Despite that, I still had confidence that day 27 was going to be it.
Like, there you go. Just a tiny bit of slowdown. Not ideal, but gold. Oh my goodness, dude. I fail this, I'm gonna be so pissed. I don't think I can describe how angry I'll be if I lose this run.
Once again, I was flying through the first few levels. I just needed to keep it together until the end.
Dude, I can't. You can't make this crap up. Oh my goodness, dude. It's okay. We're fine. But that was so dumb. I'll admit it. I'll be the first to admit that did not go great. Lost a lot of time there. But it's not over. Are you serious right now? Please. Okay, we're fine. 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 We're fine. It's okay, guys. It's okay. We're fine. Okay. Think like a perfect for me, 8-4, this could be a sub 6 minute run. Oh, I missed it big time. I wasn't even close. Alright. I took the stress off of it. A 6:10 is super good. Oh. And another gold split for 8-4. Okay. That was good.
Finally, a time I was proud of. And it was at this point the truth of speedrunning set in. Top runners could spend 1,000 attempts just to shave off a fraction of a second. And even casual players required hours of practice to improve. After playing for 27 days, I was only sitting at 8 hours of playtime, and half of that was spent in the first week just learning how to beat the game normally. The reality of a speedrun is repeated failure for a single success. So I accepted this as my success for the month, and the next 2 days went as expected. Each had a game over and took well over 10 minutes to beat. But then it was the final day, and this happened. My bad. I forgot I wasn't an actual speedrunner. In reality, I spent this last day reflecting on the challenge that took me a month to complete.
I obviously wouldn't say I'm a good speedrunner by any means. I mean, the route I'm following is definitely far from optimal, but I've gotten decent at this game. And genuinely, if any of you out there have, watched all these Mario speedruns but never thought about doing it for yourself, well worth trying. Like, this was a super fun challenge. And obviously, I was doing it like this for the video. Playing it once a day is probably not the best way to go about it. You can actually get decent at the game if you're willing to play it a couple times. Like, just play it for like an hour or so a day. You'll get decent at it. You don't have to devote a crazy ton of time to get good. I've never made it here with fire before. So see there, I got hit by a hammer. I don't know what to do. because I haven't practiced. So the way I've done this run, or the way I did this challenge, definitely not how you should do it. And I'm now realizing I actually could get a record here, so I need to focus up for a second. You know, I'm gonna die here. Almost certainly. Oh my goodness. Okay, wow. I got a gold split for my final 2 levels on the last day of the challenge. Completely distracted. Wow, okay. I would have wanted to get 6 minutes. That was definitely one of my goals going in to this last week. Like, I knew under 6 minutes was possible. And I honestly, if I had just focused a little more at the beginning, I probably could have gotten it. But I was trying to kind of sum up this last month of playing.
Okay, so I did get a new personal best in the end. And despite the many mistakes, a sub 6 was definitely possible. I lost over 10 seconds on the warp vine alone where I ran into a glitch that wouldn't let me climb the vine. That didn't matter though. The month of Mario is over, and it ended on a high. This experiment turned out to be a lot of fun, and in the past few weeks, I haven't stopped playing Mario, so if you'd like to see a follow-up video of me beating the game every day for a year, pray for my sanity, but also let me know in the comments below. Finally, for any of you nerds out there, this is the abysmal graph of my times throughout the month. Not great, but it shows I was getting consistent towards the end. And if you made it all the way to the end, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.